Hi, this is Bruce, and this is my first YouTube class, and the subject today is going to be customer relationship management software. And in this video, I'll be talking about why you need CRM, what it does, some of the particular features of different CRM products, and also, how it's licensed, obtained, etc. This is an introductory level course. So there's going to be some concepts that I'm going to cover, so some of this makes maybe a little bit more sense to you, okay? The first concept, and I think this is the most important, is all business is about people. But particularly when we're dealing with people, we're really talking about relationships. And by that, I mean what they have found, all the business experts, is that number one, it costs businesses a lot of money to attract new customers. There was a study one time done by a major department store, and I won't name their name, but here's what they discovered: that for every customer they got in the door, they spent $10 in advertising. That's a lot of money over the course of a year or so. However, they found that they only spent $1 to get existing customers back in the door. But how do you get these existing customers to come back in the door? You have to nurture the relationship with the customer. It's a great way to think of it is that you want to have a long-term relationship with your customers, with your vendors, and anybody doing business with your company. So, if we know that business is about people, I'm not an artist, right? We know it's about relationships, but what we also have to take into consideration is the relationships people have with other people throughout the lifetime of dealing with these folks. Now, you probably know that a lot of times the best business is word of mouth, that referral from one of these people to one of these people is the best kind of business you can get. But the thing is, when people have a great experience with the business, they only tell a few people. When they have a bad experience with your business, they'll tell many, many people. So, this is, again, another area where CRM comes into play. So let's think of CRM as your front office for your business, your front office. What is a front office? Well, that's everybody that actually comes into contact with your client, your customer, so forth. So that's going to be sales, marketing, and also customer service. These are the people that's on the front line every day dealing with your customers, and these are the folks you want to have a great relationship with these customers. But it's not always possible, and if you're not using a CRM system, I'm just going to cover some of the things that you are going to lose. And I'll clear the whiteboard here. Okay. Let's talk about the sales department, your sales team. In our example, we'll have 3 salespeople. And we'll say that's Bob, Mary, John. They have one sales manager, Tom. All 3 report to Tom. But without a CRM system, maybe Bob uses Outlook to keep his contact information in, name, phone number, maybe a few notes, that kind of thing. Mary doesn't like Outlook. Instead, she uses Excel. She keeps all of her information in a spreadsheet. John here, on the other token, doesn't like Excel, doesn't like Outlook. He uses, we'll say, evernote. And poor Tom here, his mission in life is to find out, forecast his sales, his pipeline, where everything's at. So he's got to work with Bob, who's got to get everything done. Mary's got to get everything done. John has got to get everything done. And they're all working with data in dissimilar and decentralized format. This can get ugly pretty quick because it's Dom's responsibility to give the boss a pipeline report, a sales forecast, tell the boss how effective their marketing campaign is doing, lead generation, how much money are we making or losing off of a particular campaign. It can be quite a mess. Where things really get ugly is when one of them leaves the organization. Bob walks out the door, takes his contacts with him. Tom doesn't know what to do at that point. Those contacts are gone. Or maybe he keeps them on a Rolodex. There's actually people still use a Rolodex this very day. Those contacts are gone. They walked out the door. Also compiling the data, it's all missing. Where did it go? Don't know. We don't know that so-and-so is getting ready to order, not happy with something. We don't know. This in turn causes a business to lose a whole lot of money. So the bottom line is, when your business, when your data is here, and it's over here, and it's over here, and it's over here, and it's over here, it's decentralized. You can't build reports on it. You can't quantify your business. You can't forecast. Everything is dissimilar. We're keeping different data sets. Maybe she's not keeping notes. Doesn't like taking notes. This one never gets birthdays. Doesn't believe in those. There's no hard and fast way there's no rules of the road for these folks. And you see it all the time when you go out in the field. There's a lot of holes in the information. Even when you start trying to glue everything together from spreadsheets, Outlook, Evernote, Rolodexes, it's a mess. What else do we lose by not employing such a system? The next thing on the list that we lose is we fail to spot trends. Maybe we have a certain product that is trending up, while we have another product that's trending down. We don't know this because, again, all of our information, our data is decentralized. Hopefully we might catch it, but we're going to catch it when it's at its most severe point. We're not seeing those trends early. Amazon is a good example of doing a lot of stuff with customer relationship management and big data and analytics, the suggested products, that sort of thing. With CRM, a CRM tool, you can kind of catch what's going on there. What else do we lose? Well, when we have the salespeople, right, and they have their own silo of information, maybe we've got Tim over here, he's like in customer service. Bob goes to make a sales call, and we got our customer down here. Bob goes to make a sales call to this customer. But what he didn't know was the customer had just got off the phone with Tim in customer service and was mad at the company. Really pissed off because something was wrong with the product, there was miscommunication, something like that. Needless to say, this is a bad day for this salesperson right here. Had a CRM system been put in place, that experience probably wouldn't have happened because she'd been able to go to the notes of the contact record and saw where the customer had talked to Tim in customer service and maybe even make a special offer or some type of deal in order to win back this business. But he didn't know. Instead, he gets an earful from the customer. Walked into it totally blind. Bad situation. And that is something the CRM system can help to eliminate, because all these front office functions are all tied together in one neat package. What we're really talking about is a 360 and 60-degree look at your customer. All the way across, we're looking at everything in a centralized format. Everything they bought, every call that you've made, every email you've received, every note you've taken, every customer service call that they've had, every product they've purchased, etc. That 360-degree view is what a CRM system allows you to do, but it does a whole lot more. What else happens if we don't have a CRM system? If we don't know if the customer had a bad experience, let's say with customer service, they had a bad experience maybe with delivery, or the product didn't arrive properly in good condition or whatever. What we don't know when we see that the contact with the customer go down, 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 is that they're looking at your competitor to replace you. You're being replaced. They're moving on. They quit talking with you. They quit sharing with you. And you can see that through the aging of emails, calls, etc. So that's another area that CRM systems are designed to help make better. Finally, the sales manager cannot forecast. That's supposed to be a funnel. That's pretty pathetic, but you get the idea. The sales manager can't forecast a sales funnel unless he knows the status of all the deals, how old they are, the dollar amount, where they're at in the sales process. This is something I used to talk to companies before I did consulting in this area about their sales process. If your sales process doesn't flow on paper, you're not going to be able to build a CRM system around it. So what the implementation of a CRM system does is it causes companies to take the time, analyze their sales processes, and make them flow on paper. And once they flow on paper, then you can design a CRM system around that. So it's people, process, etc. Those are just some of the reasons why you need a CRM system. Well, let's talk about what a CRM offers you. The first thing is you have to understand that they are modular in nature. So if we think of it this way, we're going to build this circle there. The first and most important module is your contact module. The contact record in a CRM system is the part that everything else is tied to and revolves around in the system. Now, a contact can be tied to the account module. The account module is typically going to be the company for which this contact works for, if you're doing a B2B type of business. And you see, businesses come in a couple different flavors. Business to consumer, business to business. I'm in the business to business or B2B space, so this is real important. So we can tie the contact record to the account. Let's go into a little bit more detail about a contact record. So a contact record is a central repository for their name, their address, if they have an assistant, phone number, fax number, email address, cell phone number, etc. All that kind of data. Have their date of birth, their wife's name, kids' names, etc. if you want to capture that information. The next thing that it should contain with it is some type of notes, where you're talking to them, you're updating the record, whatever, some type of note you might want to make to yourself for later reference. It should have history in there, a history of any document you've sent, any emails you might have sent, any phone calls that you sent, etc. any pending activities you might have with that contact. A follow-up phone call, for example, or some type of reminder to send marketing collateral at a later time, etc. The history should contain any products that they currently own or have owned in the past. There's another example which should be in there. Any documents you might have sent. That would be in the contact record. If they're tied to an account, who that account is. If they're tied to a vendor, who that vendor is. Any outstanding quotes that you might have for them. Any outstanding opportunities you might have with them. You might have in there as well. So a number of records are all tied to the master contact record within the CRM system. What other type of modules? Well, there's accounts. You can have your activities. Would help if I learned how to spell. Activities are being like any follow-up calls, emails that you want to send out, etc. There's also opportunities. They're tied to that. Opportunities are being when you're negotiating with them about purchasing additional product or services, but it's not a done deal. You're following that opportunity through the sales cycle. Let's see. Vendors could be another module. Help desk could be another module. Products, another module. And there's other. I mean, there can be plenty more modules, but these are some of the main modules you'll find in a modern CRM system. So, a CRM system, what it allows you to do then is it allows you to build around these relationships that revolve around the contact record in the CRM system. That's what it does. It helps you relate all this information. A CRM system can also integrate with, say, Google Apps. It can integrate with Office 365. It can integrate with MS Office and other Office tools, including project management, etc. So the data, this contact data, the contact, I'll just do it right here, can integrate here, 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 here. All the way across the board. That contact data can integrate with all these different platforms. They talk back and forth to one another. Now, let's talk a little bit about one of the major benefits of CRM is in the form of automation. Let's talk about automation for a second. You've got your website up here. And you have your CRM system here, CRM. So this is your web, your CRM system. Somebody, say 2 a.m., fills out a form, as an inquiry form on your website. They fill it out. The system can be set up to where that information, that contact, that lead information goes into the CRM system, fills it out, and the auto responder emails you back. Thank you for visiting our website. Here is the information requested, and we will have a salesperson contact you within the next 24 hours, let's say. The CRM system would also look at the zip code, for example, and say that this lead belongs to Bob, and then would schedule a telephone call within 24 hours for follow-up. So almost immediately, your customer got an email We respond to it. We thank them. Maybe send any initial information. We begin the nurturing process by looking at the zip code, assigning that lead to Bob, and we told Bob, hey, you need to call this person. Here's the product or service that they're interested in. This was done without human intervention. This is one of the things that makes CRM so huge. We want to touch that customer repeatedly and often, but we want to do it in a timely basis as well. We want to make sure all of our bases are covered, and we want to keep a complete history of all these activities, which should be kept in the CRM system. Another thing I use it for is for lead nurturing. Now, I'm not going to go into give all my secrets away, but I will tell you that I qualify leads using what's called Bant. What does Bant stand for? Budget, authority, need, timeline. BANT. And we assign the customer a score based on the answers to the Bant questionnaire, which is built into the CRM system, so we know whether we have a hot, warm, or cold lead. And we use Bant to do that with, and that's baked into the CRM system. So we obviously want to work the hot leads first, and you can design lookups or custom views in your CRM. So when a salesperson sits down in the morning, they just see a hot leads for that day. These are the ones you got to get to right away. Again, this was done automatically without human intervention. One of the big challenges to any sales organization is follow-up, making sure that you're handling things in a timely basis, that you're making sure that your customer receives the information they requested, they're receiving the marketing collateral, they're receiving the telephone calls, everything done in a timely basis. Why is that so important? Because many companies spend a whole lot of money buying leads. And I mean a ton of money buying leads, because they've developed a campaign and they want to maximize revenue based on that campaign. So it's easy for people to get lost in the shuffle, but it's also easy for your current customers to get lost in the shuffle as well. If we're in the middle of a really expensive campaign, we may have forgotten those notes we took 6 months ago in Outlook to call Mary Smith, say in July, next July, for a contract renewal or something like that, because we're too busy working that. We need these reminders. We need to be able to look at our daily call sheet or daily activity log and see what we're supposed to do. And that is one of the benefits of CRM, because when you schedule an activity with a client, that is recorded, synchronized, and recorded in the CRM system. So that's another benefit of the CRM system. Data. It's pretty doggone easy to start getting overwhelmed with a lot of data. And one of the big problems is duplicate data. All right? CRM tools contain, or I should say CRM software contains a set of tools that allow you to deduplicate your records. And so you have Bob Smith, Bob Smith, Bob Smith. Somehow he's got 3 records in the CRM system. That happens all the time, trust me, it just does. The way the dedupe function works on these, as every contact record is comprised of fields, and its heart and soul, CRM is a relational database. What it does is it looks at the dates the records are created, the last fields that are updated in each particular record, and if, say, the phone number on this Bob Smith is newer than this one, give you the chance to replace this and this, swap things around to the most recent information in all the fields, and then we'll merge them down into one particular record, thus eliminating the multiple duplicates that you might have. It's a wonderful tool. It's probably sounds more difficult to use than what it is. There's other things that you can use. You can actually prevent some duplicate entry, data entry, which is kind of cool, using things like sound X values, etc. I won't go into all that. That gets a little bit more complicated. Another thing that CRM has began to address in a big way is social. Your customers on Facebook, Twitter, maybe Instagram, could be a host of others. The CRM systems today will allow you to follow your customers, your vendors, etc. on these various social media platforms, and even be alerted when your company's name is mentioned in the tweet, in the Facebook post, etc. So you can respond to that. That can come in real handy. So this is something relatively new in CRM systems, as well as the ability to also look at geographic data as well. So this is going to be my poor drawing of the United States. And with geographic data, pattern matching, it allows you to start seeing where you have big pockets of sales that you were not really aware of. And that'll help you explore what's going on there in these different areas of the country that maybe geographically you were not aware those type of sales were happening. So that's another extremely powerful tool of CRM right there, is to look at your geographical regions and see that certain products are moving better than other ones in those territories. And it just might be because you have salespeople really great at selling this product, but to notice that the other product's not selling because they're not so good at it. So it helps you work with salespeople as well. Companies spend a lot of money on marketing campaigns. Big money on them. Remember, they're spending that $10 per head to get them in the door. It's a lot of money, $10 a piece. Maybe that's too high up on the, move that down a little bit. What are they looking for? They're looking for the 3-to-1 ratio. So they want to turn that $10 investment into $30. That's what they're looking for. So they're acquiring leads. Maybe they're going to trade shows. Maybe they're running advertising on the internet. Maybe they're doing Facebook posts. They're blogging. They're running the good old-fashioned newspaper, television ads, etc. But that's what they're looking for. They're looking to make $30 for every dollar they spend, or more. This is kind of in my opinion, the bare minimum. So how do you do that? Well, CRM systems allow you to create what's called campaigns. And those campaigns, once you start getting leads that come in or entered into the CRM system, are put into campaign groups. They're put into a campaign group. Then we can begin to monitor the results. We're going to send them. Email. We're going to make phone calls. We're going to send direct mail. We're going to use different touch points. And believe me, when it comes to sales, there's more than one way to sell. Typically, you have to touch a customer multiple ways, multiple times. You can't do all your marketing by email, generally. You can't do it all by phone, generally. You can't do it all by regular mail, generally. You can't do it all by television commercials, generally. You can't do fax marketing all the time, generally. What it takes is a combination of things. And that's another key benefit of a CRM system, because it can run multiple campaigns simultaneously and track the results. To recap, CRM systems are about modules that have different functions. Your accounts module, for example, is all the companies that your contact is related to. Of course, you have your contact record itself, that module. A leads module, which hopefully you'll turn leads into contacts. Okay, you can call them suspects, prospects, or whatever. A help desk module, possibly price book module, a quote module, an activities module for scheduling things like calls, follow-up, email, etc. Vendors module, invoices module, all these different things. Now I will say this, I have yet to see a CRM system that can replace a full-blown accounting application. So one thing that's real handy is for your CRM system to talk to and share information with your accounting software. That's huge. That's something you want to see happen in a big, big way. Now that we've kind of given you this overview of CRM, this 30,000 foot overview of CRM, let's just kind of wrap up how CRM is typically obtained. Well, you have two options. You have on-premise and you have hosted. And for the most part, your small to mid-sized companies are generally looking at a hosted solution. And that's because the installation, implementation of a CRM system on-premise can be pretty doggone expensive depending on the software you purchase. So with a hosted solution, you can get right into the game very, very quickly and hit the ground running for a low entry fee. The downside, of course, is that you're paying monthly fees to the provider of the CRM software. How is it priced? It's priced per seat. There's actually different pricing schemes involved on this, or involved with purchasing CRM software. Now, the pricing can actually be $0 a month. I've seen them as high. Now, this is going to sound crazy. I've seen one, this is what they were asking per month per user, $139 a month per user. That's pretty steep. The one I happen to use is running me $38 a month per user. So, but to me, it's investment. It makes you money. CRM system keeps my customers happy, makes me money. So that's an investment. The other pricing schemes, you'll see some of them that offer different tiered pricing. They'll offer like 3 versions of the software, A, B, and C. This would be the entry level, and maybe it doesn't, and it's missing some modules. And then the B is the professional, the pro version, and it's got the modules and more. And then you have the enterprise, and it's got, maybe this one's missing a couple. And then this one's got everything, the whole enchilada. And you'll see that sometimes, depending on the product that you're looking at. They also have several other ways in the pricing that you have to be careful of. Another one is storage. They'll maybe give you 1 to 2 gigs of storage as part of your plan. And if you're collecting lots of documents and you're scanning stuff in and attaching the records, it's not hard to go over that and end up paying additional as well. And finally, And finally, the last thing that they will charge you for is plugins. There's some of them that will offer optional or third-party plugins to integrate with things like Microsoft Outlook, Microsoft Office, for example, fax machines, etc. And these plugins increase the functionality of CRM software across the enterprise. So that is something else that you have to be very, very careful of as well. And I think that kind of gives you an overview of the CRM system, what it does, what it can do for you, and what it offers. Any questions, please put those in the comments down below. I thank you for watching this video, and like I said, this was my first class, so thank you very much for watching.